In the annals of ancient history, few conflicts have left as indelible a mark as the Second Punic War. This epic struggle between two Mediterranean superpowers would reshape the ancient world and set the stage for Rome's ascendancy. Our story begins with a clash of titans, a confrontation that would span continents and decades. As the 3rd century BC drew to a close, two formidable powers stood poised on the brink of war. In one corner, the rising star of Rome, a republic hungry for expansion. In the other, the maritime empire of Carthage, determined to maintain its dominance. The stage was set for a conflict that would shake the foundations of the ancient world. At the heart of this titanic struggle stood a figure whose name would echo through the ages: Hannibal Barca. Born into a family of warriors, young Hannibal swore a solemn vow to his father Hamilcar. He pledged eternal enmity against Rome, a promise that would shape his destiny and alter the course of history. With this vow burning in his heart, Hannibal began to craft a daring vision: to strike at the very heart of Roman power. But how to reach Rome? The answer lay in one of the most audacious military maneuvers ever conceived. Hannibal would lead his army, including, incredibly, a contingent of war elephants, across the treacherous peaks of the Alps. This seemingly impossible journey would become the stuff of legend, a testament to Hannibal's tactical genius and iron will. As Hannibal's forces descended from the mountains, Rome found itself facing a nightmare scenario. The Carthaginian general unleashed a series of devastating blows that sent shockwaves through the Republic. At the Battle of Trebia, Hannibal's cunning strategy left Roman forces reeling. The lightning had struck, and Rome was on the ropes. But Hannibal was far from finished. At Lake Trasimene, he orchestrated a masterful ambush that caught the Romans completely off guard. The result was a slaughter, with thousands of Roman soldiers cut down or drowned in the bloody waters of the lake. The lightning had struck again, and Rome's grip on power seemed to be slipping. Yet the worst was still to come. At Cannae, Hannibal delivered a crushing blow that would go down in military history. Through brilliant tactics and sheer audacity, he encircled and annihilated a Roman army twice the size of his own. The scale of the defeat was staggering, with some estimates putting Roman losses at over 50,000 men. The lightning had struck for a 3rd time, and Rome teetered on the brink of collapse. But in its darkest hour, Rome showed a resilience that would become legendary. Enter Quintus Fabius Maximus, whose cautious strategy of attrition would earn him the nickname the Delayer. By avoiding direct confrontation and slowly wearing down Hannibal's forces, Fabius bought Rome precious time. And from this breathing space emerged a new hope: a young general named Scipio Africanus, whose bold tactics would turn the tide of war. The conflict now shifted to new theaters. In Spain, Roman forces under Scipio began to chip away at Carthaginian power. The fall of New Carthage dealt a severe blow to Hannibal's supply lines and recruitment efforts. The tide was beginning to turn. Meanwhile, on the island of Syracuse, a prolonged siege saw Roman ingenuity pitted against the legendary inventions of Archimedes. The fall of this strategic stronghold further tightened the noose around Carthage's neck. Rome was slowly but surely gaining the upper hand. In a daring gambit, Scipio made a bold move that would change the course of the war. He launched an invasion of North Africa, striking at the very heartland of Carthage. This audacious strategy forced Hannibal to abandon his campaign in Italy and rush to defend his homeland. The final showdown was approaching. The stage was set for an epic confrontation at Zap. Here, two of history's greatest generals would face off in a battle that would decide the fate of empires. Hannibal's veteran army, including his famed war elephants, clashed with Scipio's disciplined legions. The fighting was fierce, but in the end, Roman tactics and determination prevailed. Hannibal, the scourge of Rome, tasted defeat for the first time. The aftermath of the war saw Rome emerge as the undisputed superpower of the Western Mediterranean. Carthage was stripped of its empire and forced to pay crushing reparations. Hannibal, once the terror of Italy, was driven into exile, hounded by Roman agents until he finally took his own life rather than fall into their hands. But the legacy of the Second Punic War extended far beyond the immediate aftermath. It had forged Rome in the fires of adversity, transforming it from a regional power into an empire that would dominate the ancient world for centuries to come. The conflict had also given birth to legends of Hannibal's daring and Scipio's brilliance, of Roman tenacity and Carthaginian ingenuity. As the dust settled on this epic struggle, one thing was clear: the world would never be the same again. The clash of these titans had reshaped the Mediterranean, setting the stage for the rise of Rome and the birth of a new era in human history. The echoes of their conflict would resonate through the ages, a testament to the enduring power of courage, strategy, and the indomitable human spirit.